The more you listen, the more you know. This is Good Politics with Dr. Wilson and Adam Whiteman.
Welcome to this newest season of Good Politics with Dr. Wilson.
Season 3.
Yeah, dang. Time flies by when you're having fun.
Yeah, we got new videos, a new song and everything, and we got some great new topics this year.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy those.
All right, let's get started here with brand new topics. I think it's pretty clear what we need to talk about today. We haven't done a show in foreign policy in a long while, and because things are heating up, what I want to do is do a show about this thing with Trump, Iran, and war. And the way we're going to do this is in the first part, we're going to give some context. And then what we're going to do is discuss more contemporary matters in the second part. I want to begin with discussing the Iran nuclear deal.
What is the Iran nuclear deal? And didn't the U.S. pull out of it or something like that?
The Iran nuclear deal was a deal that the Obama administration came up with. And really what it was an effort to try to cajole Iran. You know, Iran is this nation state that America sort of has this problem with for a number of reasons. And the idea with Obama was he was going to try to cajole them. He was going to try to make it so that they would give up their nuclear ambitions, and they would give it up for about 12 years or so. We could monitor what was going on to make sure that they were giving up those ambitions. In exchange, we gave them a lot of money, sanctions relief. But the problem is what they did with that money is they take it and they use it not for their people, but to fund a lot of these proxies. Iran is this state that because it can't fight conventionally, you know, against Israel or United States or whomever, it fights in a asymmetrical way. Like there are these clandestine groups like Hezbollah, etc., terrorist groups that commit these attacks, and Iran can say it's not me, it's them, when they're the ones that actually fund these these militias and things.
And these militias are, on paper, they're their own entities
right.
outside of the government.
Sure, on paper they look like free agents.
Right.
But in fact, it's Iran that's behind them. So this interesting issue is how to deal with Iran, whether to go the diplomatic route and to try to control them. You know, inside Iran, there's this unfortunate situation going on. The people in Iran are kind of held captive to these mullahs that control everything. You know, there's these fundamentalist conservative elements in Iran, and then there's what we would call more liberal elements. So it's a complicated thing inside the nation state. So anyway, what happens is Trump comes in and he's going to pull us out of the Iran deal. And the reason why he pulls us out, we don't really, this is really what I think is a $64,000 question. I think there's one of two answers here. One is Trump thought that he could get a better deal. But the other idea is that no, he thinks it's bad public policy. Now, these are two different things. It's one thing to say, I'm going to pull out because I want a better deal. That's almost like we saw this with China, you know, let's get a better deal. Right. But the other thing is to say, no, I think it's wrong to cajole you. We have to be tough with you. We're going to do something fundamentally different now because we think you're an enemy. You know, those are two different things, whether you think it's fundamentally bad public policy to try to cajole them versus whether you think you could get simply a little bit of a better agreement. So let's start us off and play clip number 50.
The United States and Iran did go through a long process of negotiations over a nuclear agreement. The advent of the Trump administration changed all of that, and suddenly sanctions were imposed, primary sanctions, secondary sanctions, attempt to cripple the Iranian regime until it comes back humiliated to the negotiations table in order to renegotiate the deal.
How did the Iranians feel when we backed out? I mean, is this kind of illustrating some of that?
Yeah, so Iran kind of has this, they're kind of proud people is the way that Trump once described them. You notice the person there said they felt humiliated. And so that's obviously not something that Iran as a nation state, at least the people that control it, are going to be receptive to.